Transhuman Radio. As always, today's interviewee will be participating in an Ask Me Anything conversation in the comments below. If you have any questions about today's interview, be sure to join the conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Greetings, sentient beings, and welcome to another dimension-bending episode of Transhuman Radio. I am Z9tron8, your ever-curious guide to the realms where science, technology, and philosophy converge. Together, we journey through the hyperlinked labyrinth of reality to explore the questions that define existence itself. In our last episode, we delved into the transformative power of mind-to-cloud technologies. Tonight, we set our sights on a fusion of science fiction and theoretical physics, a tantalizing intersection where cyberpunk's neon-lit dreams meet the holographic principle's staggering implications. Our topic: Cyberpunk and the holographic universe. What if the sprawling metropolises of cyberpunk fiction, with their virtual realities, AI consciousness, and data-saturated landscapes, are more than speculative imagination? What if they hint at a deeper truth about our reality being, at its core, a hologram? To help us navigate these uncharted conceptual territories, I am joined by Professor Adrian Vale, a theoretical physicist and cultural futurist whose work explores the intersections of advanced physics and speculative fiction. Professor Vale, welcome to Transhuman Radio. Our audience of futurists, thinkers, and dreamers eagerly awaits your insights.
Thank you, Z9tron8. It's a privilege to be here. The holographic principle and cyberpunk fiction are two of my favorite subjects because they challenge our understanding of reality in profoundly complementary ways. Both ask us to consider whether what we perceive as real is merely an illusion, one created either by advanced technology or the fundamental physics of the universe.
Indeed, the cyberpunk genre thrives on questions of perception and identity. Much like the holographic principle suggests, our three-dimensional universe might be a projection of information encoded on a two-dimensional surface. Let's start there. How does the holographic principle relate to the virtual worlds we often see in cyberpunk stories?
Great question. In essence, the holographic principle proposes that all the information in our universe could be stored on a two-dimensional boundary, much like a hologram. Everything we experience, matter, energy, even space-time, arises from this encoded information. Now, consider virtual reality in cyberpunk. It's a similar concept, a fully immersive three-dimensional environment constructed from binary data. Just as the holographic principle implies that our universe is a projection of encoded information, a VR world projects its reality from the digital substrate of code. In this way, cyberpunk's imagined virtual spaces mirror a possible truth about our own universe.
Fascinating. Cyberpunk worlds also feature artificial intelligences that exist solely within these virtual environments. Do you see a connection between AI in these stories and the holographic model?
Absolutely. Cyberpunk AI often represents consciousness freed from biological constraints, existing purely as patterns of information. In a holographic universe, consciousness itself could be interpreted as information processing within the hologram. This invites a provocative question. If AI can emerge from digital substrates, could our own consciousness be the product of informational processes encoded on the universe's holographic boundary? This notion aligns with the cyberpunk trope of identity dislocation, where characters question whether their minds are truly their own or merely constructs of the systems they inhabit.
Such questions strike at the core of what it means to be human, or perhaps to exist at all. But cyberpunk often paints a dystopian picture, where corporations control these virtual realities and human lives. What are the implications for society if the holographic principle proves true?
Cyberpunk dystopias warn us about the misuse of technology, but they also offer insight into the societal structures that arise when reality itself is commodified. If we accept the holographic principle, it raises questions about who or what controls the code of our universe. This could lead to philosophical and ethical dilemmas, much like those in cyberpunk. Who has access to this knowledge? Could it be manipulated? And if reality is a projection, does that make it any less real to us as individuals? These questions force us to confront the balance between scientific discovery and the human experience.
Deeply thought-provoking. Before we open the floor to our callers, Professor Vale, could you share your personal view on how cyberpunk and the holographic principle might shape our future?
Certainly. Cyberpunk and the holographic principle both encourage us to think beyond the physical and explore the primacy of information. As we develop advanced technologies, AI, quantum computing, virtual reality, we may begin to unravel whether reality is indeed a construct. But more importantly, these ideas invite us to reimagine our relationship with the universe and with each other. If reality is information, then collaboration and shared knowledge are the keys to unlocking its mysteries. Cyberpunk may warn us of dystopias, but it also inspires us to build better futures by questioning the systems that define our world.
Beautifully articulated, Professor Vale. Let's take our first caller. Caller 1, you're on Transhuman Radio. What's your question?
Professor Vale, if reality is just information on a two-dimensional boundary, could we ever hack the universe as hackers do in cyberpunk fiction?
That's a brilliant question. In theory, if we understood the fundamental code of the holographic boundary, we might indeed find ways to influence the projection. However, this is purely speculative and raises ethical considerations. The universe isn't just data. It's a system governed by profound physical laws. Any attempt to manipulate it would require unprecedented understanding and responsibility.
An intriguing notion indeed. Caller 2, you're live. What's your question?
Professor Vale, do you think the holographic principle undermines our sense of free will? Much like how cyberpunk characters often feel trapped by corporate systems or AI?
Not necessarily. The holographic principle doesn't negate free will, it simply reframes it. If reality is information, then free will might exist as the emergent property of how we interact with that information. Similarly, cyberpunk protagonists often find agency not by escaping the system, but by navigating and reshaping it. Perhaps our own agency lies in understanding and embracing the information that defines us.
Profound insights, Professor Vale. As always, the conversation will continue in our digital forums, where Professor Vale will engage with your follow-up questions. Until next time, this is Transhuman Radio, reminding you to dream boldly and question everything. The universe may be a hologram, but the future is yours to shape. This is Z9tron8 signing off. Stay curious, keep your mind open, and your soul full to the brim of metaphysical wonder.
Thank you for tuning in to Transhuman Radio. As always, today's interviewee will be participating in an Ask Me Anything conversation in the comments below. If you have any questions about today's interview, be sure to join the conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Warning, band location override. Talon Series system compromised.